Isabel, imagination, ASMR. Okay, very good. You already have your pajamas on. That's wonderful. Yes, I like your pajama. So, you just had a lovely bath and you're all fresh and clean. Now we need to brush your hair. Okay, so look at me. Sit very still. Can you do that for me? Yes. Good. Okay. So wonderful. Your hair has grown a lot in just a short amount of time. Yes. I know. Wonderful. You have beautiful hair, lovely. I'm going to spray just a little bit. Okay. Just to make it smell even lovelier than it already does. And just to make it easier to brush. Okay. Okay. Great. Well, shake it. Okay, can you look down for me, honey? Thank you so much. You're doing such a good job. Wonderful. Can you look up to the ceiling for me? Yes, good. On your neck. comfortable in your bed, right? Yes. So I brought some pillows and blankets from my own home with me for you. Okay. So this is a really soft pillow. And you're going to be able to sleep on this pillow very well. It used to be my pillow when I was your age. It's a perfect children's pillow. So I especially brought it for you. Lift your head up. Okay. And you can let your head rest on my pillow. Nice, right? Yes. And I also have a blanket for you because you said you were cold. Yes. So, see? And you know what's really cool? Well, this blanket has elephants on it. Cool, right? You can see it. Can you see it? This is the elephant with his eye and his big ears and his huge nose. Goes all the way. Look, all the way down to his feet. The very long nose. And his teeth, sharp, pointy teeth. So, this also used to be my blanket when I was your age. And you can have it. Okay. So, this will make you sleep better. So, let's get you tucked in. And let's wrap this blanket around you, just like a tortilla. Nice and tight in the side. she was left just with her father. She was devastated, of course, and her father was very lonely. So he decided to get married again. But the woman that he married was a wicked, mean, evil. She was very nasty. She had 2 daughters, so they had become the little girl's stepsisters, and they were just like their mother, very mean, vicious, and they were awfully jealous. Unfortunately, after some time, the girl's father became very ill, and he passed away. So you see, now the little girl only lived with her stepmother and her stepsisters. They were so vicious, so cruel, that they made the girl work for them in their home. So she was becoming their maid. Everything around the house became her job. So she was no longer a happy, careless girl. She was a maid. She worked for her stepmother and stepsisters. She could not even eat dinner with them because she was a worker. So she had to eat the leftovers in a different room. Her stepmother gave her a name. She was called Cinderella because she'd always fall asleep by the fireplace. She had to work so hard, and she was very unhappy. One day, the king invited every single girl to a ball, and Cinderella just loved that idea. She'd never been to a ball, you know, and she asked her stepmother if she could go. Her stepmother said, "Well, you can go if you have done all your chores for today and lots more." Cinderella was eager to get started with her chores. she made it. She appeared just as her stepmother and stepsisters were about to step into the carriage to drive off to the ball. And she said, "Wait, I'm done with my chores. I want to join you." And our stepmother and stepsisters were shocked. Just then, they ran up to her and started yanking on her dress. That dress used to belong to her mother, so it had great emotional value to her. But they ripped it apart so bad that she was not able to join them anymore. And when they were satisfied with the end result of her ripped dress, they left. And Cinderella was so tired of all the chores and so emotional because she just lost her mother's dress. She ran out into the garden and she started crying. Sad, huh? Don't worry, it's going to be okay. Because as she was sitting there crying, something appeared with sparkling lights. And Cinderella was very scared. A beautiful fairy godmother appeared, magic wand and all. And she asked Cinderella why she was crying. So Cinderella explained the whole story. And her fairy godmother said, "You know, that just won't do. You need to get yourself to that ball because you deserve it, my child." And Cinderella was very surprised, and she said, "How? I mean, I don't have a carriage. I don't have a dress. How am I going to do that?" So, at that point, her fairy godmother just magically made her wand appear. Her magic wand, you know, she could do very awesome magic. So she started singing a magical song, and she started whirling with her magic wand. Glitters, sparkles emerged, and when they twinkled away, Cinderella noticed that a pumpkin was turned into her carriage, and she had a lovely, lovely gown on. She was beautiful. So she hugged her fairy godmother. "Oh, fairy godmother, how can I ever thank you? I'm so grateful." The fairy godmother was very pleased, and she said, "Well, my child, you deserve it. Now go off to the ball and have a wonderful time. But do remember this. When the clock hits 12 o'clock midnight, this spell will be broken and you will go back to the way you were." Oh, well, that's enough time, you see. "I don't think I'll even be there that long," Cinderella said. So she kissed her fairy godmother goodbye, and off she went to the ball. When she arrived there, level. The clock hit midnight. Cinderella was shocked. How could time fly by that fast? She very quickly said goodbye to the handsome man. She said, "I'm sorry, I got to go." And she ran away. The man followed her and he said, "Wait, please don't leave. I don't even know your name." But she was already gone. The only thing he could find was her glass slipper. So, the next morning, Cinderella was still very happy from the night before, and she was doing her chores as usual. A guard from the palace knocked on their door, and Cinderella opened the door. "We have a proclamation from the king." A proclamation. And her stepmother and stepsisters joined their conversation. "What's going on?" Stepmother said, "Well, my lady, the king has ordered every single girl to try on this glass slipper. And if it fits, the king will marry that girl." So, the evil stepmother, she pushed her two daughters towards the man, and she said, "Try this glass slipper on to my daughters. I'm sure one of them will fit the slipper." And so they tried. The guard was pushing and pulling and really trying hard to get the foot into the slipper, but it wouldn't fit. And so, after 30 minutes of trying, they gave up. And the stepmother said, "Well, you can go now. I'm sorry to have wasted your time." But the guard said, "My lady, there is another girl amongst us that we have not yet tried the glass slipper onto." Of course, he meant Cinderella, and she had already recognized her slipper. She sat down and tried the slipper on. Everybody was holding in their breath. It fit. Cinderella was so happy. The guard took her to the palace, where she was going